Franklin Delano Roosevelt, often referred to by his initials FDR, stands as a towering figure in American history. His presidency, spanning 12 tumultuous years from 1933 to 1945, was unlike any other. He confronted the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's leadership forever changed the nation and its role in the world. His legacy is one of resilience, compassion, and unwavering commitment. His fireside chats brought comfort and reassurance to millions. He ushered in an era of unprecedented government intervention with his New Deal programs. On the world stage, Roosevelt navigated global conflict with determination. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was born into a world of privilege on January 30th, 1882. His family's estate, Springwood in Hyde Park, New York, was a testament to their wealth and social standing. Young Franklin, known affectionately as Frank to his family, enjoyed a childhood of comfort and opportunity. His parents, James and Sarah Roosevelt, instilled in him a strong sense of duty and public service. Education played a pivotal role in shaping his worldview. He attended Groton School, an elite preparatory academy, followed by Harvard University. At Harvard, he excelled academically and demonstrated a keen interest in politics and government. After graduating from Harvard in 1903, Roosevelt went on to Columbia Law School. He passed the bar exam in 1907, but his legal career would be short-lived. The call to public service, deeply ingrained in his family's legacy, soon beckoned him towards a different path. Roosevelt's political ascent began in 1910 when he was elected to the New York State Senate. As a state senator, he quickly gained a reputation as a progressive reformer. He championed the rights of workers and farmers, challenging the power of big business and political machines. In 1913, President Woodrow Wilson appointed Roosevelt Assistant Secretary of the Navy. This position provided him with invaluable experience in government administration and foreign policy. During World War I, he played a key role in mobilizing the Navy for war, demonstrating his leadership abilities on a national stage. In 1920, Roosevelt's political ambitions led him to accept the Democratic Party's nomination for vice president. The Democrats, however, lost the election to Warren G. Harding and the Republican Party. Despite this setback, Roosevelt's political star continued to rise. In the summer of 1921, tragedy struck. At the age of 39, Franklin Roosevelt was stricken with polio. The disease left him paralyzed from the waist down, a devastating blow for a man of his ambition and energy. However, Roosevelt refused to succumb to despair. With characteristic determination, he embarked on a rigorous rehabilitation program. He sought treatment at Warm Springs, Georgia, where he found solace in the therapeutic waters. His personal struggle with polio profoundly shaped his character, fostering empathy for the struggles of others. Despite his physical limitations, Roosevelt remained determined to return to public life. His wife, Eleanor Roosevelt, played a pivotal role in his recovery. Becoming his political partner and confidant, she encouraged his ambitions and helped him navigate the challenges of his disability. Section 5. A Nation in Despair. The Great Depression grips America. The stock market crash of 1929 plunged the United States into the Great Depression, the worst economic crisis in its history. Millions lost their jobs, homes, and life savings. Breadlines stretched for blocks as people desperately sought food and assistance. President Herbert Hoover's response to the crisis proved inadequate, further eroding public confidence. The nation yearned for leadership, for someone who understood their plight and offered a path forward. In Franklin Roosevelt, they found their champion. Roosevelt's message of hope and optimism resonated with a nation desperate for change. He promised a new deal for the American people, a bold program of government intervention to revive the economy and alleviate suffering. In 1932, he was elected president in a landslide victory, signaling a turning point in American history. Section 6. The New Deal, a bold experiment in reform and recovery. Upon taking office in 1933, Roosevelt immediately set about implementing his New Deal programs. The first 100 days of his presidency witnessed a flurry of legislative activity unprecedented in American history. The New Deal aimed to address the immediate crisis while laying the foundation for long-term recovery. Among the most significant New Deal initiatives were the Civilian Conservation Corps, which provided jobs for young men in conservation projects. The Works Progress Administration, which created jobs in construction, arts and other fields, and the Social Security Act, which established a system of old age pensions and unemployment insurance. The New Deal represented a fundamental shift in the role of government in American society. Roosevelt believed that the government had a responsibility to protect its citizens from economic hardship and provide a safety net for the most vulnerable. While his policies were met with opposition from conservatives who viewed them as socialist overreach, they garnered widespread support from those who benefited from them. Section 7, Gathering Storm Clouds, the Path to Global Conflict. As the Great Depression eased, a new threat emerged on the horizon: the rise of fascism in Europe and Asia. Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany, driven by militarism and racial hatred, embarked on a campaign of aggression, annexing Austria and Czechoslovakia. In the Pacific, Imperial Japan, seeking to expand its empire, launched a brutal war against China. The world watched with growing apprehension as the forces of darkness gathered strength. Roosevelt, recognizing the grave danger posed by these totalitarian regimes, urged a policy of preparedness. He believed that the United States could not afford to remain isolated from the growing conflict. He cautiously navigated public opinion, which remained wary of foreign entanglements after the horrors of World War I. However, the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 shattered America's illusion of neutrality. Section 8. The Arsenal of Democracy. America enters World War II. On December 7, 1941, Japanese forces launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, plunging the United States into World War II. The next day, Roosevelt addressed Congress, delivering his iconic Day of Infamy speech. Yesterday, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan, he declared. With a united voice, Congress declared war on Japan. 3 days later, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States. America was now fully engaged in a global conflict against the Axis powers. Roosevelt rallied the nation to the cause of freedom, mobilizing the country's vast industrial and military might. He understood that victory would require a united effort from all Americans. He called upon citizens to support the war effort through bond drives, rationing, and working in war industries. Women entered the workforce in record numbers, taking on jobs previously held by men. Section 9. A legacy forged in crisis. Roosevelt's enduring impact. Throughout the war, Roosevelt played a pivotal role in shaping the Allied strategy. He forged a close alliance with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin. Together, they coordinated military operations and planned for the post-war world. Roosevelt's leadership during World War II cemented America's status as a global superpower. He recognized the need for a new international order to prevent future conflicts. He envisioned a world governed by cooperation and diplomacy, where nations worked together to address common challenges. His vision led to the creation of the United Nations, a lasting testament to his commitment to international peace and security. Roosevelt's health, however, had been declining for years. The stress of leading the nation through the Depression and war had taken its toll. On April 12, 1945, while at his retreat in Warm Springs, Georgia, Franklin Delano Roosevelt suffered a massive cerebral hemorrhage. He died later that day at the age of 63. Section 10, Conclusion, A Man and His Time. Franklin Delano Roosevelt's presidency was a time of unprecedented challenges and transformative change. He led the nation through its darkest hours, providing hope and inspiration when it was most needed. His New Deal programs fundamentally reshaped the relationship between the government and its citizens, while his leadership in World War II secured America's place as a global superpower. Roosevelt's legacy is complex and multifaceted. His critics argue that his policies expanded the size and scope of government beyond what was necessary or desirable. His supporters, however, point to his compassion, his unwavering belief in the American people, and his enduring contributions to American society. One thing is certain: Franklin Delano Roosevelt left an indelible mark on American history. He was a giant among men, a leader who rose to meet the challenges of his time with courage, determination, and an unwavering commitment to the ideals of freedom and democracy. His life and legacy continue to inspire and challenge us to this day.